there are different standardization organization came in. For example, over the period of time, EIA standards, IETF standard, IEEE, IANA, ICN, ITU, and TIA. Why we need to why there was a need for the open standard? So open standards mean any vendor who is going to create or build any network device in order to communicate, they need to follow these standards. One open standard, not their own standard, right? And that is why nowadays it is possible that different vendor, even though they develop their own protocol suite over the period of time, but they were not able to communicate with a different vendor. Now there is open standards available like EIA, IETF. So if a Cisco need to create a switch and Juniper need to create a switch as well, they cannot follow their own guidelines. They need to follow one standard. EIA or IETF or IANA or IEEE. So they need to follow one standard. This means that now a different vendor can communicate to each other. There was a challenge before. Okay, that was not possible, but nowadays there is an open standard which actually provides the guidelines to each vendor if they want to build a network interface card. Okay, what is the procedure? What are the guidelines they need to follow? Okay, if a firewall is there, if a switch is there, if a router is there, if a cable is there, a PC, laptop, how these different vendors now can communicate each other because they follow one guideline, they follow one open standard. And these are the open standard nowadays are available. Internet Assigned Authority, for example, this assigned authority provide you the IP addresses to communicate over the internet. If you need a unique IP address, okay, ISP, your ISP need to buy from IANA, and they have their own database and they know which, for example, home or which location you are using this particular IP. Okay, that we will see what is IP later on. Internet standard, as you can see, ISOC, IAM, IETF, and IRTF. So Internet Society, then IAB, Internet Architecture Board, Internet Research Task Force, IRTF, IETF is another one as well. So these are, you can see there, this is a research group, this is a working group. So these are come under the Internet Architecture Body, and then they come under the Internet Society, ISOC. Basically, anybody now need to develop any product, any protocol suite, anything, they cannot follow their own guidelines. They have to follow the open standard. Internet standard, as you can see, IANA, Internet Assigned Body, non-profit American company, overseas global IP addresses allocation, as you can see, domain names as well, TCP UDP port number, we'll see in detail. Similarly, for electronic and communication standards are here, EIA, TIA. So this is also another standard. If somebody want to develop a cable, they need to follow their standards, EIA, TIA.